Hey everyone, this is Dalton at Daltonian's TFs, and as you could have seen from that little skit at the beginning, and of course the pictures and the title of the video, we are taking a look at the Transformers Voyager class Titan's Return Sentinel Prime. And yes, we are starting in train mode, mostly because this is the easiest mode to start off with, going from this to shuttle to robot. He is a very long vehicle. Obviously he is a train. Very battle themed. I mean, we got turrets up here, we got these two big cannons up here, and turrets at the back. Zooming in here, we've got a very diesel engine sort of look to them. Kind of a blend between a cattle guard, cow catcher, whatever you want to call it, and a snow plow. Also some very nice details. We've got some doors right here, the windows, looks like a vent, internal, inlet right there. Weird little bit of detail here, but this plays a part in robot mode. Again, you got some more doors here, some wheels, which they are picked out in paint like here, but I will be fixing that on my own. A lot of little ladders and more doors all throughout. Same details here on the back. One problem is with this is mine has this little weird bend to it, and if you couldn't tell already, I don't know if it's showing up on camera, but I do have new lights for my setup here. So let's zoom out here. Also on the back of Sentinel's robot mode, we do get to see some more details for the train. We've got another little catwalk here with some doors. So it's very nicely detailed, just not a lot of paint to it, so that is a little bit unfortunate, but quite a bit of color breakup with the molded plastic itself. Bringing in his box real quick. Here it is. You got Ifinitus with Sentinel. You got the artwork there of him either detaching or attaching to Sentinel. Same situation here on the side. On the back, you get your usual, 1 step, 11 steps, your little cross cells. Then here on the back it says, your usual Titan Master thing, but then for the actual characters it says, Autobot Ifinitus slows time so Sentinel Prime can unleash precision attacks even when the battle is raging in full fury. Now that sounds a lot like Vector Prime. I really hope we actually do get, a proper Vector Prime in this out of, say, Alphatron. I mean, he's got the chest for it, so I don't see why not. And here we've got the collector card. Same artwork, you get to see the cannons on the back this time. And here we go, 10 all across the board for Sentinel. All Ifinitus adds is 2 for strength, 3 for speed, 3 for intelligence, and 2 for firepower. So, not much else to go on there. Let's go ahead and break out little Ifinitus here. Now, before I completely forget altogether, here is the card for Sentinel Prime. You can see kind of one of the pictures I took earlier, just how it's designed here with the guns coming up. On the back, you've got Sentinel Prime all maxed out to 10, but Ifinitus doesn't really add much to him. So you got 12, 13, 13, 12. So not as powerful as one would imagine. So there's that. Just pop this open, and here is the little Ifinitus. Very nicely done. Looks just like a small scaled down version of Sentinel. You got the chest details there, you got the cannons there on the side of the arm, even down to the weird little details that we'll see on Sentinel's legs, although these would be the other side of his legs, even down to looking kind of like little trains there on the feet. On the back, not much else. You get to see Sentinel Prime's face, ball jointed shoulders, ball jointed head, of course, and that's a little loose here. Now, go ahead and comparing him to one other figure, one that I neglected to show off earlier. Let's go ahead and bring in the pilot slash headmaster, aka Spike, from Perfect Effects Warden. So again, very tiny little guys, but still not any smaller than so far the smallest one in my collection, and probably yet, unless you count the world's smallest line. So there's those. Let's go ahead and take Ifinitus. One thing you can do is, just like all the others, real quick, let's go over these guns. Very nice gunmetal gray, some molded in details. It is actually just molded in orange plastic. So you've got the little, turret gun here for the Titan Masters. And get this out here. There is the rifle. Now you can tell right off the bat this is definitely Astrotrain's blaster, as this is meant to be Astrotrain. So let's go ahead and put that there. And let's get Ifinitus into here. There are the arms. And there we go. Now we've got the little turret that he can man, and you can put him right here on the side of said train. Now the instructions for the train mode say to have these all the way up, kind of like a pantograph type thing. Though when you do that, you don't have very many options for the guns. You can still plug this one in just fine, but when it comes to this gun, it doesn't really do too well. It looks a little weird. You could plug into the sides here, but if you try to do that to where they're symmetrical as far as length goes, it's all over the place. So I like having these down and having the guns up here. They don't get in the way of anything, and they are still fairly symmetrical front to back. So there is that. Now let's stop rambling about the train mode and start getting this guy into shuttle mode. First thing you want to do is fold up all these little side panels for the train. Now, actually, real quick, if you want to distinguish him from Astrotrain, and if you like having Astrotrain as the bullet train, there's a lot of trains going on right now. You can flip around the shuttle fronts to become the bullet train style. I actually plan on doing this with Sentinel, just adding some paint to it, probably right along this section here and this one up here, just some gunmetal to give it kind of that little cockpit look, which will add more detail in shuttle mode. Also these little sections here, which we'll get into later. You want to split the wings off of the train. Bring these down. Now you want to make sure these hip sections right here, you got these little tabs right there. It's going to lock into these little grooves here, and then this tab right here is going to lock into that slot there. So you just want to bring those together, and then do the same here to where everything locks in, and you didn't see any of that. Like I said, just come here and just make sure everything locks in. I want to bring down the turrets for the train. Bring this around. Now here you want to take the wings and put them under these little flaps, and they tab right in onto those pieces under the flap. Then from here you just want to raise these fins up to here where they're not going to click into place, just right until they stop. Don't need to go any further than there. Here you want to flip out the landing skids or struts, whatever you want to refer to them as, the landing gear. And there we've got Sentinel Prime in his Autobot shuttle mode. Now, if this looks familiar to you at all as far as the color scheme and most of the design, this is kind of based off of the 1986 movie shuttles. So it'd be nice to see maybe one with, instead of yellow accents or instead of red accents, maybe blue, or maybe some blue trim, and then maybe kind of a darker crimson color for trim. I don't know, just a little thought, just to have the shuttles from the movie. But yeah, it doesn't look too bad. Like I said, it is missing a lot of paint. That's why I intend on probably painting this whole section right here, that kind of gunmetal, along with these little sections here. And another thing, if you want to distinguish them, again, in shuttle mode, and this might be something I do with Sentinel whenever I get Astro Train, is use the actual train cabs themselves to give you this kind of weird, really blocky looking nose for the shuttle. I mean, it looks really jacked up, but I think it looks pretty cool, especially if you add some gunmetal going on here, and for these old doors, maybe these vents here on the side, just to break up the color a little bit. So, I mean, that's totally up to you. Now, to get this guy into robot mode, it is fairly simple. We're like 90% there. Go ahead and close these fins. Untab the arms from the side, or the wings from the, what will be the arms. And they are on a double hinge, so you want to bring them up so they're fairly straightened out on the gray piece and then flattened out on the wings. Also, you got the little, 3 boosters section right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and raise this camera up. And from here, you just want to flip these little panels down. And here you can see what I was talking about with, the Titan Master. Go ahead and flip these down. You just want to make sure they tab securely. Rotate them around. And pop the feet around. Close that up. Flip out the hands and they will tab into place. And lower the backpack down in this little tab right here. We'll go right into that slot on his back. I mean, it's not perfect, but it is there. And let's take Ifinitus and there we have Sentinel Prime. Very nice looking. He looks a lot better here. You don't get as much of that red. You get a lot more of the orange though, and he looks great. Also, you get a lot more of the yellow coming through. A little bit more of the gray. Just a lot better paint breakup, color breakup here. One other little thing you can do, and this is mostly going to be for Astro Train, and I prefer to do this with Astro Train, is you got this little section right here on his torso that if you pull down on it, you get the little pylons, pauldrons, whatever you want to call them. Just little things that we used to see on the side of Astro Train's head. So if you want, you can do that. Also, it kind of limits the visibility and the rotation on the head, because you can really just get left and right. But as you kind of saw, it is built in on a little swivel, so you can turn it back and forth to get different angles. I prefer to have it down with Sentinel just because it's really something I associate more with Astro Train. As far as articulation go, like I said before, his head is on a ball joint, though here it is more like a swivel. As far as the shoulders, they are on a swivel forward and back, hinge in and out, on a bicep swivel, or yeah, you got the bicep swivel, and a elbow hinge. Mine is a little bit loose on the right side. As far as hip movement, none, because of how he transforms. You do get ratcheted hips, though this one is a little loose. I think that's become a widespread problem. Going out on a detent, thigh swivel, very tight movement here on the knee. Nothing at the feet other than the forward and back due to the transformations. And that's pretty much it for Sentinel. You can also still use the blasters, or rifles, whatever you want to refer to them as. So, kind of weird that everything else is either gray, red, orange, or yellow, and these are the only thing that are gunmetal. It's kind of odd. But real quick, let's zoom in on Sentinel's face. You can take a look at that. Very Prime-like, but also a little bit different. Different enough to tell that this is not Optimus Prime. And I like that. It's got kind of this crown thing going on. I do love the blue in the eyes. Those are just pop. You get the little tiny Autobot symbol right there. Again, this mold was destined to be Astro Train. I cannot wait till Wave 2 starts hitting, so I can actually have that. I've actually got the Takara one pre-ordered, so I will have 3 of these, well, space choo-choos in my collection, if you want to refer to them as that. Also, get these cannons plugged into the wings. You can also have them spread further apart if you'd like. Let's go ahead and plug that in right there. And so now you've got him with his cannons just like he has on the card. So there we go. So there is Sentinel Prime. Not a whole lot to say. I haven't read any of the comics to know much about the character, other than he's coming back to life. That's really all I know. Really look forward to getting the Titan Force box set. That should be hitting Hasbro Toy Shop anytime now. At the time of this recording, it is after San Diego Comic-Con. So, anyways, that pretty much does it for this. Like I said, he's a really great figure. If you like something new, if you love the color orange, and if you just like Transformers in general, triple changers, I'd say pick him up. I mean, he's probably the best, one of the better in the wave, the first wave. So, like I said, I cannot wait for Astro Train or, you know, Alphatron. So, as far as Sentinel Prime, that pretty much is it. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little rambling review. Well, hopefully quick. I mean, it's like 17 minutes now. So, I'm going to end it there. Check out my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram page if you'd like. Those links will be in the description. Other than that, hope you guys had a good one. Enjoy this, and I hope you guys have a great time. So, see ya.